another What I've Watched video. Now then, this isn't the biggest What I've Watched video ever, but I have some really interesting things to talk about, so make sure you stay tuned because I have some really good recommends and some things that I didn't like so much, but yeah, we've got a whole bunch of stuff here. But now, this is technically the 20th What I've Watched video, which seems like a big kind of cool, oh, 20 What I've Watched videos, I don't know, maybe it's just me. But I was thinking, I might change my mind, of calling it 19.5 because I want to do like, I'm revamping the What I've Watched videos and I want them to be a little bit better, but maybe they won't be. But this one's either, maybe I'll just call it 20 and then we'll, you know, hopefully they'll be on the uprise anyway. Anyway, without further ado, here's what I've watched recently. If you're new, basically this is what I've watched recently, is all, I suppose. Tinkerbell and the Pirate Fairy. I did a review on this and you know what guys, I really like this. It's not my favourite Tinkerbell movie. I think Secret of the Wings is, but I like this one a lot and I think it'll grow on me and maybe become a bit more. But I do want to talk about future Tinkerbell movies and I have a video coming up about that. But I'm not going to go into detail about this because I did a review on it, so you can check that out if you want. But yeah, if you scrum off the Tinkerbell movies, you should probably give this one a check out. If you're a Peter Pan fan though, definitely check out this one. It's got some cool references to Peter Pan, so check that out. Next, I checked out the transfer on Sleeping Beauty, meaning I watched the first like 15-20 minutes. So yeah, I watched the first 15-20 minutes of this just to see how it looked on Blu-ray, and I was really impressed. It looks really nice. I mean, this is the 16th classic, so it's pretty early on still in the classic range. And I thought it looked really nice, really sharp. I thought the transfer was pretty good, so definitely, you know, pick up Sleeping Beauty if it's not on it, it's probably my fingerprint. And I will be doing a special feature spotlight on this one, so yeah, stay tuned if you want to know the special features on this particular edition, which is the newer release edition. Next I watched Delivery Man, which I also did a review of, but it was a while ago now. Basically it's about this guy who in his younger days was a sperm donor and it ended up going wrong and he ends up with 533 children, of which 100 of them want to know who he is. I liked this movie. It was a good, feel-good, sit-back, relax movie, but it could have been better. I'm not going to lie. I was expecting a bit more. It just could have been a bit better. I did enjoy it and I did do a review on it right after I watched it, but for this kind of movie, I expected a little bit more. I wasn't expecting, you know, anything Oscar-winning, but I was just expecting a fun, feel-good movie, which it was, but at parts it just had like holes kind of thing. And yeah, but if you want to know more about it, definitely check out my review, so I don't want to talk too much about that. But I do recommend it, but don't, it is what it is. It's not too funny either. It's just a relaxing, not need to think movie. One that is not a relaxing, not need to think movie, Prisoners. This film, oh my gosh, the ending of this movie. If you've seen it, you'll know what I mean. I'm going to do a review on this. I love this. I think I want to watch it again though before I review it. This is an amazing film. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. I know there's a lot of hype around it. People are saying it's really good, but honestly, it is very good. Basically, these two young girls go missing of these two families around Christmas time, and Jake Gyllenhaal is the policeman involved, and Hugh Jackman is a father of one of the children. And basically, it's kind of, you're always like, who did it, who didn't. It's a mystery, you're figuring out. You're going along the journey and you don't know. It's quite a long film. It's quite a brutal film, so prepare yourself for it. But definitely just give this one a watch. 100% recommend this one. Really, really enjoyed it. Like I said, the ending was just, I was just like, what? It was crazy, but I loved this movie. A movie that I did not love, Transformers 2. I did a review on this. We don't need to talk about this one again. Put that one on the floor. Next we have Meet the Robinsons. I think an underrated Disney movie. I really enjoyed this. I've seen it a few times. This is a rewatch for me. And basically, this young boy here wants to be a scientist and invent things. Not a scientist, an inventor. Where did I come up with scientist? I don't know. He wants to be an inventor. And, you know, he ends up being able to go to the future. And it has a really cool twist. I'm not going to tell you a lot about it because I think you should just watch it. It has a fun twist. It's about a little boy. He's an inventor. He time travels to the future. I mean, you know, that should just sell it for you. I watched P.S. I Love You for the second time. The first time I watched it, I didn't really like it that much. The second time, I enjoyed it. It's a sad kind of movie. Hilary Swank's husband, Gerald Butler, dies. That's not a spoiler. He dies and he writes her these letters and she reads them and has to get over him and learn things about herself and go on this journey, and we go flashbacks, and it's a romantic movie. It's nice, I liked it. I don't really know what to say about it though, because it's just, yeah, I don't know. A movie that I loved. This is one that I really want to talk about. The Truman Show. Actually, I'm not going to talk too much about it because I'm going to review it really soon, but I loved this movie. If you haven't seen it, go out, check it out, buy it. Just go ahead and pick this up, no matter who you are. Definitely pick this up. This, I would never have bought it just thinking, yeah, but I heard a little bit of something about it. It was actually Shaytards. I heard Shaytards talk about this. And I just thought, oh, I saw it at the car boot. I picked it up. I loved it. I just watched it on a whim. I was like, yeah, let's watch that. Jim Carrey does an amazing job in this. It's probably one of my favourite of his movies. Basically, this guy here is been filmed his whole life. And I don't really want to give much away. And like I said, I'm going to do a review, but I just highly recommend that you check this out and take my recommendation on it, because it's such a good movie and it really makes you think, and it has an amazing quote. And I was thinking for a while after this one. I'm still thinking about this movie. This movie is one that is going to stay in my mind for a long time. So if you like movies that make you think and kind of thought-provoking, definitely check this one out. Wes Anderson movie, The Royal Tenenbaums. I haven't seen that many Wes Anderson movies, so this one, they're always a bit weird. At first I was like, oh, this is a bit weird, and then I kind of got into it, and I got into the characters, and I really enjoyed it. Definitely, this is a movie to watch. Basically, it's just about this family, the Royal Tenenbaums, and this guy here is the father, and the father and the mother are separated, but the children are now older, and they're all a little bit strange, and it's all a little bit weird, but he basically says that he is dying and wants to reconnect with them all. So it's a weird, dysfunctional type family movie, but it's kind of really funny and really interesting. It's a fun to watch movie. Definitely check this one out. If you're a Wes Anderson fan, obviously you're going to enjoy this and want to check this out. If not though, I said this is a good introductory to Wes Anderson. Kind of. Yeah, I'd watch this one. Another movie that I really enjoyed was Julie and Julia. Really, really enjoyed this. We've got Meryl Streep and Amy Adams. This was a great movie. It was about Julia Child. And it showed kind of her life story. Meryl Streep played her, and she is, if you don't know, a famous cook who learned French cooking and made this book to teach Americans, and that's kind of the, it's about her and her life, and you get to see a lot more about her and her husband and stuff. And then Amy Adams, this is also based on a true story, the whole kind of thing, is called Julie, and she decides, she's in a bit of a rut, she decides to have a year and do all the recipes from this book, and I think it's like 500 and something, I'm not entirely sure, and it's really fun. Like, it goes from one world to the other, from one to the other, and she writes a blog, and it's really, really interesting, and I really, really enjoyed it, so I highly recommend it. Even if you're not a big fan of cooking or anything like that, it's just really, really fun watch, and I personally really enjoyed it, but it did make me quite hungry, so you're going to have some food at hand. Next we have Because I Said So. I watched this maybe last night or the night before. I really enjoyed this. We've got Diane Keaton and Mandy Moore and some other peeps here, and I really, really like this movie. Basically, this mother here has 3 daughters, all kind of grown up. 2 of them are married, and Mandy Moore's character, she's kind of the main focus, is not, and she tries to like hook her up with a husband or a life partner or whatever, and it's a really interesting, sweet movie. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, for sure. And Diane Keaton, I always quite like her. She's pretty good. But yeah, if you're in the mood for a girly type of movie, but it's not too cheesy. I mean, it's a little bit cheesy, but it's enjoyable. I really, really liked it. Honestly, I was like enjoying this movie quite a lot. Next we have How About You, which kind of looks like a Christmas movie, but it's not completely a Christmas movie. It's about this young girl who goes to work in a care home with her sister. Her sister runs the care home, and she's kind of just doing it for money and doesn't really want to. And then, of course, she kind of gets close to the people in the care home and ends up being really funny and sweet, and there's a lot of sweet moments, but it's also quite funny. I'm sure you can guess where the story's going from that plot, but this is a movie I think not a lot of people will have heard about, and I personally really, really enjoyed it, so I highly recommend you kind of check this out and maybe check out the trailer or something if it's something you think would be interesting. But I enjoyed this one. It does involve Christmas at one point, but I didn't watch it at Christmas, so yeah. Now we have Sex and the City 2, which, I love Sex and the City. I watched the first one when I got back from New York, and this one I decided to then watch afterwards. And let me just tell you, I was just like, oh, I'm not really going to tell you much about the movie because I'm sure you all kind of know, and if you don't know, you probably maybe don't want to know. My hotel that I stayed at was in this movie. I was like, oh, I didn't know this before going to my hotel that I stayed at in New York, and then afterwards I was like, oh, that's my hotel! Like, they had little chairs, it was the lobby of the hotel was in this film. I was just so excited. I paused it, and I was like running around like, Mom, guess what? Finally, we have Jerry Maguire with Tom Cruise and Renee Zellweger, and is that how you say her name? Hopefully. And basically, this is kind of a weird romantic movie. He is a manager of sportsmen. Was that what you call it? I think so. Anyway, and something goes down with his job, and him and her have to start their own kind of thing together, and then it kind of falls into this little thing. But the little boy, Renee Zellweger's little boy, the little boy out of Stuart Little, he's in this, he's adorable. And it's a very cute movie, and it has the very famous quote, "You had me at hello," and I love that scene. So I love it. It's just kind of, I'm sure most people have kind of heard of this, but yes, that's that. So if you go away from this video with anything, I highly recommend 3 movies. Let me just sort these out. Okay, so the 3 movies I think you should go and buy right now and watch are Julie and Julia. I really liked this one. The Truman Show. Definitely watch that one. Honestly, trust me, watch that one really for sure. And Prisoners. Highly recommend that one too. So these are my 3 highly recommends for this What I've Watched video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thumbs up if you want to see more What I've Watched videos. I promise I'll try and be watching more stuff and get more of these to you and more movie reviews. So until then guys, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already or if you are a newbie, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!